knees. The theme for this week is This Is It. It, as in IT, as in iliotibial band. And you might say, what is an iliotibial band? Well, it's a very large multi-purpose tendon that connects from your ilium, the sacrum area here, or your hip area, and goes down the outside of your leg and then connects to your tibia, which is the big bone in your lower leg. So that's why they call it the iliotibia band, or IT band for short. And why is the IT band so important, you might ask? Well, it supports and stabilizes your hips and knees. And many times when you have hip pain or knee pain or even lower back pain, it's due to a tight IT band. So every time we take a step, we're using that IT band to support the movement of our hip and our knees. So we'll be working on stretching out that area so that we can use it to better support our hips and knees. And a lot of times it gets tight because it's sitting too long. Running makes it tight. Running without stretching afterwards makes it tight. Bicycling without stretching afterwards makes it tight. So to start with feeling the IT band, see if you can sit cross-legged, but then take the forward foot and see if you can place it on a block, and then put the shin parallel to the front edge of your mat. And then think about pushing the knee down and the thigh down. And that feeling that you get is the IT band working right here. Keep the foot flexed, and we're going to sit here and relax in this. It might be a little bit tense, but if you relax in this while we do our pranayama, you'll feel it relax as well. It, get it? It, relax. So sitting in this position, we'll do our Dirga breath. So sit up nice and tall, make sure your pelvis is tilted forward. So you might want to sit up on a bolster or a blanket to be able to make this position accessible for you. And then close your eyes and maybe even place your hands on your shin, which is the front shin, and gently just push down on it, not too much, just gently. And then start breathing as you relax here, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Big, deep, long breaths. Going all the way down to your belly. And every time you exhale, maybe you'll feel your IT band just get a little bit softer, a little bit less tense, a little bit less tight. Let's do a couple more breaths here. Really, really deep, deep belly breaths at your own pace. And then let's switch sides so that the opposite leg is in front. Resting your leg on the block, your front leg on the block. Make sure you keep the foot flexed to protect the knee. And then reestablish your nice tall spine. Bring your chest forward and do several deep yoga breaths on this side as you allow that IT band to relax a little bit. Okay, one more deep breath at your own pace. When you're finished with that final deep yoga breath, remove the block and reposition your spine to sit up nice and tall. And let's take a deep breath in together and Om in. Om. Ambalu Satguru Bhagavan Ki. The divine is the inner teacher. Okay, thanks for being here. We are going to extend our legs in front of us in our Dandasana pose, our staff pose, but we're going to do something a little bit different with our staff pose. And take the right leg, right ankle, and cross it over the left ankle. Keep the feet flexed. Tilt the pelvis forward so you have an arch in your lower back. And if you can't have an arch in your lower back, not an extreme one, a neutral arch, you need to be sitting up on something to support your pelvis area. Okay, with your ankles crossed, shoulders down from the ears, chest forward. So this is a cross-legged Dandasana. And this crossing position is working on the IT band on your right leg. So again, maybe it's going from the ilium down to the tibia, that whole area on the outside of your leg. Sitting up nice and tall, a couple of deep breaths here. This very simple action makes a big difference when you just cross your ankles in using that IT band. Take a deep breath. Exhale very slowly and fully through your nose and lean your body forward. You don't have to come very forward. Place your hands on the mat for a little bit of traction and come only as forward as you can without rounding your spine. So it might only be 1 inch, that's okay. But feel that stretch in that IT band as you do this. And relax, breathe, relax. We're just warming up our stretches here, so we don't want to do too much too soon. Okay, come back upright. Inhale, open your arms in a T. Exhale, twist to the right. Take your left hand on the outside of the right thigh. Right hand goes behind you on the mat, supporting your spine long. And every time you exhale, just deepen the twist a little more. And you can feel that area on the outer edge of your leg stretch, and we'll let it relax. One more breath here. Exhale, come back to center. Now take the right knee and bend it and bring the right foot up near your left hip. Keep your left leg extended, the foot pointing up and the knee pointing up. Take your left arm, hug that knee in toward your chest, and use that as leverage to pull your chest forward and your crown of your head up and re-tilt your pelvis so that you have a neutral lumbar spine. Inhale, bring your right arm forward. Exhale, twist all the way around, plant your right hand behind you. And relax in this twist. This is major use of the IT band right here. Every time you exhale, just twist a little deeper. One more inhale. Exhale back to center. Okay, take your hands behind you and lean back onto your hands with your fingers pointing towards your feet, and then bend your left knee so that you're going to place your right ankle on top of your left thigh. So this is a seated pigeon. Now, once you're comfortable here, you can move your arms around any way that you like to straighten your spine. Some people like to have their fingers out to the side. Some people like to have them pointed backwards, whatever suits you so that you can straighten your spine. And then if you need more stretch, just bring your left leg further in towards your body. Keep the right foot flexed. That's important. Keep your knee protected by flexing your calf muscles. And several deep breaths here. Make sure your neck is relaxed. Keep the spine long. One more breath. As you exhale, walk your left foot back out, extend it, uncross your legs. Reset your spine into Dandasana staff pose. Tilted pelvis forward, shoulders down from the ears, chest open, neutral lumbar curve. Left ankle crosses over the right ankle in a cross-legged Dandasana. Nothing else has changed in your body except the ankles crossed over. A couple of deep breaths here. Keep the feet flexed. Your legs are active. All the muscles in your legs are being used. Inhale. Exhale. Lean forward from your hip crease. Bring your chest forward. And just enhance the stretch a little bit, keeping your nice straight spine. Chest coming down toward the leg. Feet are flexed. And just don't allow your knees to lock here. Your legs are straight, but don't lock your knees. And several breaths here. One more breath. Come back up to center. Take the left foot on the outside of the right leg, bending that left knee. Take the right arm and hug your knee to your chest. Inhale, left arm forward. Exhale, twist all the way around. Plant your left hand behind you. Keep your right foot active by flexing. Keep your right leg active by flexing the foot. Relax in this twist. Feel your IT band work here. Every time you exhale, get a little bit deeper in the twist. Your spine is vertical, spiraling up. Your neck is long. One more breath. Exhale as you bring your head and chest back to center. And then prop your hands behind you. Start with your fingers facing forward so you can bend the right knee and then rest your left ankle on the right thigh. Keep the left foot flexed and then keep walking that knee, or excuse me, the right foot towards your body, moving your hands around however you need to support your back. And then just think about pushing your left knee away from you. Breathing deeply, spine's nice and long. Keep your head in line with the spine. Deep, deep breaths here. Every time you exhale, you get a little bit softer. Okay, and then walk the right leg forward extended and return to Dandasana staff pose. So when you practice this on your own, and those are really good poses that we just did to help a tight IT band, but you should hold these poses for about 90 seconds or 2 minutes if you can. And the more you hold it, the more relaxed that area will get. Okay, from here, we are going to come to our hands and knees in table pose. And have blocks handy. And then bring your right foot forward between your hands or your blocks. So we're into a low lunge here. Your left knee's on the mat. We're in a low lunge. Scoot your left knee back as far as you can so you can feel the quad stretch. Okay, from here, take your right foot and walk it over to the left so you're crossing over the midline of your body. So you're further deepening the stretch in the IT band area on your right leg. And then pick up one of your blocks, squeeze it between your hands, and raise your arms above your head and shoot your chest forward here. So there's a lot of things going on here. In addition to helping stretch out your IT band on the right, you're stretching your quadriceps on the left. You're opening your chest and stretching your shoulders. You're squeezing the block between your arms to engage your arm muscles. One more breath. And then slowly bring the block back down and keep the leg, the front foot where it is, and walk the blocks towards your bodies. Straighten the front leg, flex the front foot. So we're in a half split here, and your front leg is still over the midline of your body. It's still slightly over to the left of your body. And just allow your chest to melt down. Think about pushing that right hip back as you bring the left hip forward. This is half of a split called Ardha Hanuman. Keep your head in line with the spine. Breathe and relax here. You can raise your blocks up if you like. You want to make sure you keep your spine nice and long. This is a very deep stretch. So they call this half of a split because if our left leg was straight behind us, that would be the full split, right? One more breath here. Exhale, walk the blocks up, back to your foot, rebend the front knee. Get light in your fingertips, reestablish your low crescent here. And I hope I didn't need to remind you to pad your knees here as needed to protect your knees. Okay, get light in your fingertips, open your arms in a T, inhale. Exhale, clasp your hands behind you, lacing your fingers, pull your hands away from your bottom so that you're opening your chest, and then pull your hands down toward the mat so that your shoulders come down from your ears. And breathe. Slowly unclasp. Take your left hand on the outside of your right thigh, and we're going to open our right arm as we twist to the right. This takes a little bit of core stability and focus. And then slowly back to center. Walk your foot back over to the right side of the body so that you can bring it back down to your table position. And The left foot will now come up between the hands or blocks. So align your left knee over the ankle. Scoot the right knee back as much as you can to feel your quads work. Pad the knee accordingly. Walk your left foot now toward the right, so you're crossing your midline. So this is sort of a twisted low crescent. And then pick up a block between your hands, and we're going to bring it above our head. Squeezing the block, activating your arm muscles, opening your chest forward, reaching back behind your head with the block. Keep your belly engaged for stability. Don't forget to breathe. One more breath. Hands come down, block comes down. Open arms in a T, inhale. Exhale, lace your fingers behind. Then relace them so that the opposite thumb is on top. Pull your hands away from your bottom and pull your hands down toward the mat to pull your shoulders down from your ears. And then release. Take your right hand on the outside of your left thigh, and we're going to twist open to the left. And then come forward, bring your hands down. Walk your blocks back towards your hips, bend, extend the front leg and flex the front foot into our half split on this side, raising your blocks if you want to keep your spine straight. And then allow your chest to fold down towards your thigh. Think about pushing your left hip back as you do this. One more breath. And as you exhale, rebend the knee, come on back up. Walk your foot back out to the left so that you can come back into your table position with hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Take a deep breath with a flat back. Exhale, bring your bottom toward your heels and stretch your spine. Inhale very slowly back to table. And then we'll do a couple of very slow cat-cows. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, come into your cat back. Feel your vertebra open, big flexion of the spine. Push the mat away. Feel your shoulders separate. Inhale as you come into your cow. So you're coming into a banana back now. Head goes forward, tailbone goes back. Shoulders come down your back. And then exhale through your nose once more, making your breath last as you come into your cat. Tuck the tail, tuck the chin, broaden the shoulder blades, open the spine. And then inhale through your nose, making your breath last as you drop your belly down. Bring your shoulders away from your ears, head forward, tail back into your hammock back. So now you should feel your shoulders blades come down your back. And then come back to your neutral table. And then come on to your whatever side you want to start with. We're going to prop up and place your head in the palm of your hand if this is comfortable for you. So your leg's going to be extended in a straight line. So if you can do this comfortably, do this, but if you can't do it comfortably, you can rest your head on your arm. Either way, you're going to be propping up your body with a hand in front of your body, and you're going to straighten your body so that you have one long line from your head to your toes, and you flex your feet here. So this uses core strength for stability. When you lift your hand off the mat, you should feel a little bit wobbly. If you're in a straight line, you should feel a little bit wobbly. It takes core strength to stay in a straight line. If you're not wobbly, it probably means your feet are too far forward because that's supporting your wobbly body. So from here, take a deep breath. As you exhale, lift the top leg up. Hold it for a breath. And then bring it down. Keep the feet flexed. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Hold for a breath. Inhale. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Hold for a breath. Inhale. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Hold for a breath. Inhale. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale. Exhale as you lift. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, down. Flop over to the other side. So this is called Anatasana, which means infinity pose. And I don't know why it means infinity pose, but it does. Propping your hand in front of you, feel a little bit wobbly. If your hand wasn't there, it would be really hard to hold your balance. Get your body in one straight line. If you can't, if this is uncomfortable, you can extend your arm and put your hand down on your arm. Inhale, exhale, lift. Pause for a breath. Inhale, exhale, lower. Feet flexed. Inhale, exhale, lift. Pause for a breath. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, lift. Pause for a breath. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, lift. Pause for a breath. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, lift. This is the last one. Pause for a breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Bring the leg down. Good. Roll over onto your belly. Push the table. And then tuck your toes. Push up to downward facing dog. Make sure you widen your fingers. Make sure you put pressure in all 10 finger pads. Slight bend in the knuckles. Your base of your palm is hugging the mat, as are the base of your fingers. Thighs rolled in slightly so that you're opening your lower back. Bend your knees to get a nice long spine. Your head's melted between your arms. Pull your forearms toward each other. Roll your shoulders out in this delicious all-purpose stretch. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, walk up to your hands. And then very slowly, we're going to roll up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And then come into Tadasana. Square up your mountain pose, feet underneath the hips. Hips under the shoulders, head over the shoulders. So a lot of times when we're unbalanced in our mountain pose, our standing pose, our normal day-to-day pose of standing, and that can also wear havoc on your IT band, because your IT band has to work on one side more than the other, and then somehow your body compensates for the crookedness. Okay, from here, take your right foot, cross it over your left leg. So now your ankles are crossing here. Return to your Tadasana, chest open. So right now you're feeling a little bit more engagement in that right IT band. We're going to come forward from our hip crease with a flat back. And you can either bring your hands down to your mat or to a block, or you can just stay with your hands on your hips here. And breathe a few breaths. Cross-legged forward fold. Slowly come up back to standing, keeping your legs crossed. Inhale, bring your arms up. Flip your right palm so it's facing the ceiling. Grab your wrist with your left hand and then lean over to the left. So you're pulling your right wrist, crescenting to the left. And then come back up to center. Bring your hands down. Now, see if you can widen your cross-legged stance as far as you can. So now you're crossing more like above the knee here. And once again, fold forward from your hips. And then you can either stay here with your hands on your hips or come on down to a block or mat, keeping your spine long. Now this is a huge stretch, so don't be afraid to raise your block up, or don't be afraid to not come all the way down. You can stay halfway folded. And then very slowly come back up. Uncross your legs. Shake all that out. Okay. Left foot comes over the right, crossing at the ankles. Reestablish your Tadasana, shoulders down, chest forward. Find your balance here. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, forward fold from the hips. And either stay here or hands come down to one block or two blocks side by side, whatever level it suits you. Slowly rise up. Keep your legs crossed. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Flip your left palm up, grab your wrist with your right hand, and then crescent to the right. Keep the shoulder up. Don't allow your chest to collapse forward. Slowly release. Hands back down, keep your legs crossed, and see if you can widen your cross-legged stance so that now you're crossing at the knee or above. Only do as much as your body will allow here. You have a slight bend in your knees, come forward from your hip crease, bring your hands down to your block. slowly, slowly, slowly rise up. And uncross, shake your legs out. Okay, have both blocks handy. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold, bring your hands down to the blocks. Or if you choose not to use your blocks, you can just come down to the mat. Step your right foot back to the left side of your mat. Okay, so I'm mirroring you. Do the best I can here, and I'll probably screw up. So now we're going to come into a cross-legged downward facing dog. So now you're going to take your left foot, cross it over your right foot to the left side of your mat. So now you're in a downward facing dog with legs crossed. You can use your blocks here or not. Okay, so from here, bend your knees, bring your knees down. They're still crossed. And then unravel, you uncross your back leg to bring your right foot up front. You're walking your right foot to the left side so that it's to the left of center. Lift your right knee off the mat and then step your right foot up so that it comes to the pinky toe side of your left foot. And right and left start getting really confused here when you're crossing over your legs, and then slowly come up. Inhale up. Exhale, arms in a T, Anjali Mudra. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands down to your blocks. Now, your left foot is going to step back to the right corner of your mat. So your left foot is the one that was behind the leg. Your right foot is going to come in front of your left leg to cross over into your cross-legged downward facing dogs with or without blocks. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, both knees come down to the mat, staying crossed. Now we'll take the left leg, swing it from behind you up between the blocks. Move it to the right of center. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and step up so that your pinky toes touch with crossed ankles. And then very slowly rise up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Tadasana, uncross the legs. Okay, so our balance today is going to be a one-legged standing chair. I'll show you how it's going to look. So we did this seated, this exact same thing seated, except this time we're standing in balance. It's really good for the IT area, for your hip flexors also, which is all intertwined and interdependent. We're going to bend one leg, whichever your standing leg is going to be, and you're going to take the opposite foot, ankle, flex the foot, and then sit into a chair. And then you can bring your hands together to help balance here if you like. So this is a one-legged chair pose. Ekapada Utkatasana is what I call it. Keep the foot flexed. It's always good to have a wall beside you to hold on to, because if you can't get your balance, it's better to have assistance than don't get it at all. Just take a couple more breaths here. And then slowly come out, shake it out. It's a tough one, so don't be discouraged if you didn't get it the whole time. Again, walls are our friend. So now you're going to go to the opposite leg, which for me is the weaker one. I have a tendency to always start on my strong leg, which probably is not a good habit. Cross the ankle onto the thigh, sit in the chair. Keep your foot flexed. And then breathe. A lot of people think putting your fingertips together helps balance. I agree. One more breath. And then slowly unwind, come out, shake it out. Good job. Okay, blocks at the top of your mat. And let's come to the high level of the blocks. We're going to step the right foot back, not very far, let's say maybe 2.5, 3 feet. So you're on railroad tracks, your feet are pointed forward, hip width distance apart. You're coming forward from your hip crease with a flat back, placing your hands on the blocks. So the blocks are on either side of your front foot, your left foot. Both legs are straight, but the knees are not locked. This is the pyramid pose. So you want to level your sacrum here by shifting your left hip back. Your right hip comes forward. So think about your sacrum behind you leveling. And then allow your chest to melt down towards your legs. And don't forget to breathe. Keep thinking, push this right hip forward, because the tendency to escape this stretch, your right hip is going to want to cock up. So just think about pushing it forward and down. So now we've done a lot of stretching in our hamstrings and our AT band. So this is something that you would not want to do with very cold muscles, but we're warmed up. So this should feel good. Effort, but good effort. All right, now I'm going to put my blocks down lower, but you don't have to. I'm going to because I feel a little steadier with them lower. We're going to put weight into our right hand and then open your left arm as you twist to the left. This is a version of a revolved triangle, Parivrtta Trikonasana. One more breath here. Exhale, hand comes down. And then step up with your back foot. Slowly rise up. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Then pause in Tadasana. Square up everything, balance everything. And then we'll step now the left foot back about 2.5 or 3 feet on railroad tracks. So your hips are forward, legs are straight. Come from your hip crease with a flat back. Hands come down to your blocks. Whatever level suits you so that you can get a nice long spine. And now you're going to think about bringing your left hip forward because that's going to want to avoid the stretch by hiking up. So bring it down and forward. The right femur goes back into the hip socket. Your chest melts down towards your thigh and just relax here in this pose. So again, this pose, when you're warmed up, you could hold this for 2 minutes. I mean, maybe you can't hold it for 2 minutes. That's not the right thing to say. You want to try to shoot for holding it for 2 minutes, but we're not going to today. And now we'll put weight into the left hand as we open our right arm, twisting open. Couple more breaths. And the right hand comes down. Step up with your left foot and then slowly rise up. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And then reset in Tadasana one more time. Resetting your spine in a nice long line. Chest forward, shoulders down, belly in. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold all the way down. Hands can come on blocks or the mat as we step back into downward facing dog. If your hands are on blocks, it helps take some of the weight off your wrists. Bend the knees, get the booty way up high in the air. Let your chest melt down toward your thighs. So now in your downward dog, maybe your heels can sink a little bit toward, if they're not on the mat, maybe they can sink a little bit down toward the mat now because we've stretched out our hamstrings and our IT band. It feels a lot looser to me, so I'm able to get my heels down more easily now. One more breath in, and then bring your knees down as you exhale. And then sit back towards your heels into child pose, resting your forehead on something, either mat, hands, or blocks. And then slowly push up, please, and come onto your backs with bent knees. Now take your right ankle and place it on your left thigh. Then take your right hand on your right thigh, push the thigh away to feel an opening of that hip socket. Now take your right hand between your legs. Your left hand's going to go outside of your left leg as you lift your left foot up, clasp your fingers behind your left thigh and pull that thigh in towards your chest. Flex the feet. And maybe take your right elbow and push that right thigh away as you pull your left in. Reclined pigeon or reclined thread the needle. Some people call it the number 4 pose. Keep on pulling your thigh towards you as you push the other one away. Okay, now keep your foot where it is, unclasp your hands, release your thigh, bring your left foot back down to the mat. Now, listen carefully. We're going to take our right knee and push it over so that it's on top of the left knee like we're sitting in a chair. Bring both knees up in towards your chest. Okay, so now this is simpler than it's going to sound. You're going to take your left hand, grab your right ankle, which is the ankle that's the closest to your left hand. And then your right hand's going to grab your left ankle, which is the ankle closest to your left hand. So we're not crossing our arms. Our arms are, this is a really confusing pose to a lot of people because I always see people crossing arms and trying to figure out which is left and which is right. So your arms are straight, your knees are crossed. Each hand is on the opposite ankle, and you're going to bring your knees, pull your ankles towards you as you bring your knees more into your chest and separate your ankles away from each other. This is called the reclined cowhead pose. It's a lot easier to do it reclined than seated. Traditionally, this is upright seated. Flex the feet. Keep pulling your ankles away from each other as you pull them toward your body. Your knees are stacked on top of each other. Release your ankles. Keep the legs crossed. Bring your foot back down to the mat so your knees are still crossed over. Push into your foot and scoot your hips 1 inch to the right. And then bring your arms to a T, shoulder width, shoulder height, palms facing up, and then allow your crossed legs to drop toward the left. Keep your shoulders open. And just vision that IT band going down the outside of your leg. Nice, juicy stretch. Turn your head to look to the right. Very slowly, legs come back to center. Uncross your legs, reshift everything back to center. Now we'll take our left ankle on top of the right thigh. Left hand pushes on the left thigh, opening up that hip socket. Foot is flexed. Pick up your right foot so that you can thread your left hand between your legs and your right hand on the outside of the right thigh as you lace your fingers behind your right thigh and pull that thigh in towards your chest. Push the other thigh away from you with your elbow. Keep the feet flexed. And if you're not already doing it, allow your head to completely relax and allow your neck to completely relax. One more breath. As you exhale, unclasp your fingers, bring your foot to the mat, keep your other ankle where it is. Slide your left knee over to the right so that you're now knee over knee, like you're sitting in a chair. You're gonna bend, bring your knees up to your chest, knee over knee, and grab your closest, each head's gonna grab the closest ankle, which happens to be the opposite ankle. And then you're gonna separate your ankles as you pull your knees closer into your chest and breathe deeply, relax into this Gomukhasana, which means cow face pose. Or this is really only the bottom half of a Gomukhasana, cow face pose. There's an upper half to it too that we're not doing. Okay, release the ankles, keep the knees crossed, bring the feet down to the mat, or the foot down to the mat. Bring your arms in a T. Shift your hips 1 inch to the left. And with your knees crossed, you're gonna allow your knees to fall to the right, keep your chest open. And then turn your head to look to the left. One more breath. As you exhale, bring your knees and head back to center. Uncross. Reshift everything back to center. And then bring both knees into your chest. Hug them in. Roll on your spine, both directions. And then please come into your favorite Shavasana. Allowing your entire body to relax in a final resting pose. Focus on your breath. Slow down your breathing. Focus on relaxing your entire body. As I read you this poem by Mary Oliver, renowned American poet. And the title of the poem is I Have Just Said. I have just said something ridiculous to you, and in response, your glorious laughter. These are the days the sun is swimming back to the east, and the light on the water gleams as never it seems before. I can't remember every spring. I can't remember everything. So many years. Are the morning kisses the sweetest, or the evenings, or the in-betweens? All I know is that thank you should appear somewhere. So just in case I can't find the perfect place, thank you, thank you. Please bring your awareness back to your breath and deepen your breathing as you make small movements to gently wake up your body. Please bend your knees and roll onto your right side in a fetal position to seal the practice. And in doing so, we are sealing off the masculine side of our body, which is hot and fiery and bright, and exposing the feminine side of our body, which is cool, dark, and calm. And that calmness will carry you for the rest of your day as you please very slowly, keeping a quiet mind, push up to seated. And I shall do the closing chant. If you care to join me, please do. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Victory to the Cat Rock Yoga class and to the inner teacher. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Knuckles to my forehead. Honors God. Knuckles to my chin honors you. Knuckles to my heart honors myself. Namaste. And Jai Yogis.